participation, excuse me, in democratic institutions, how much the governments are building a middle class, and that helps whether you're a public investor like USAID or you're a private investor. It helps you think about where are the areas where this country or this area, this region, really can grow and improve and break some of these cycles of conflict, and where do we need to help to get them in the right place before it's a healthy environment in which to have the youth grow up and again, have a different future than what they probably anticipated early on.
And I don't want to get too much into the weeds of the actual content of the report here, because I know that we're going to have a full presentation of it, and there will be a response panel, but just one more question regarding that too, Kathleen. I was looking at Russia, for example, right? My family is from there. I was born there, and so I find it particularly interesting. And Russia is one of these countries that just didn't make sense to me on the Youth Wellbeing Index when you look at it, because it is as incredibly high level economically, and yet when it comes to the security in the country, the situation is very poor, at least according to the rankings here. So how do we make sense of that?
Well, I haven't gone into the details of the report, so I don't want to make a snap judgment on Russia. I will say there are a number of countries where you have these disparities. A couple were highlighted in the video, where they might be doing particularly well on one piece of the index and not on the others. And I think that's where it's providing data for researchers to go in and start to look at that and try to understand how that data is, how you interpret that. In the case like Russia, obviously the biggest concern from the security perspective we have about governance in Russia is on its democratic institutions, its freedom of the press, all those areas that we know historically those desires need to be met for a country, regardless of its economic